Hello and welcome to the 21 Days online Sahaja Yoga program. Today we're going to ask the question, can pure desire and pure attention lead to inspiration? So this is day 27 of our current 21-day program, and get ready for a foot soak. So if you've got your bowl and towel and all the other things ready, otherwise here's a chance before we start the meditation and have a foot soak. My name is Mark, and I live in northern New Jersey. If you're new, or even if you're continuing, we have a website with all the materials for this course, including the recordings. We offer in-person programs throughout the world, and also we have one-on-one mentoring where you get to work with a Sahaja Yoga teacher. On Sunday, we looked at the first chakra, which we call the Muladhara chakra. And the essential quality of that is childlike innocence. Today we're looking at the chakra that we color yellow on the chart. We call it number 2, and we call it the Svadhisthana chakra. And the essence of that chakra is pure inspiration without any effort. Sahaja Yoga is always free. This is pure knowledge, and you can't make a business out of pure knowledge. Today we'll have a short talk about the Svadhisthana chakra. We'll have a meditation, a foot soak. Then we'll have a video featuring the founder of Sahaja Yoga, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, some live music, a second guided meditation, and then a chance to share with us, the hosts on the program, what you are wondering about Sahaja Yoga, asking us questions, sharing your experiences. So I'd like to welcome our two presenters today. We have Neil and Prashant.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome, Prashant.
Hi, everyone.
And welcome, Neil. So, Prashant, just curious, what's your favorite season in the year?
My favorite season in the year, I would say living here in Michigan, it is summer. So we certainly have an appreciation for that.
Okay. What do you like to do in the summer that you can't do otherwise?
Well, I would say among many things, I would say golf is something that I really love as an outdoor sport, which we can't do too much of during the winter season. So that's for sure. And then as with our local collective over here that we all practice meditation together, we we go out to the parks and try and do some, I would say, open water foot soaking, and that's always uh, it's always a real joy. Yeah.
And that's something you can do in the winter too, comfortably.
Yeah.
Neil, what's your favorite season?
I would say probably spring. Um, yes, like it's not too hot and it's not too cold. It gets pretty hot in the summer in the Bay Area, California. And winter, I just don't like the cold. So spring's the best season for me.
Yeah. I think I like spring. I just like the transformation where
Yeah.
everything that was not living is suddenly, even though it was sort of dormant, now it really is springing and new buds, which is kind of like the renewal.
Yeah.
So we're going to enjoy Neil later with some live music and Prashant later with a guided meditation. Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it.
So today we are going to look at the second energy center, Svadhisthana, and we have a slide that shows its innate qualities. So it's kind of a review. If you've been here through the first 21 days, we're in our second session. So the essential qualities are pure knowledge, pure attention, inspiration, and dynamism. So it's a very interesting chakra because what we try to achieve through the meditation is to become effortless. And we're kind of trained in most of our lives to really put in a lot of effort, to really try to get stuff done, to struggle against all the resistance, all the hindrances. And we're always looking at others and comparing, and oh, I need to try harder, I need to work harder. And a lot of it, of course, is using our mental faculties, thinking, oh, if only I could just do what they did, then I would be complete, then I'd be better. So what we're going to learn and keep learning in Sahaja Yoga is how to soothe down all that mental activity, how to open ourselves out and just enjoy the flow of pure inspiration. And it happens with the Kundalini awakening and with our daily meditation that we realize that we don't need to put in so much effort, that once we're in the boat, out of the water, we can just enjoy the waves, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the birds, and then see what comes into our creativity. So the amazing thing that happens is creativity without effort. And if you've ever done anything artistic, you might notice that there are times when the creativity flows the best, when you really let go and maybe have no particular goal in mind and say, let's just see what happens, what comes into my attention, what images or sounds or thoughts or just feelings just come when I am quiet inside. So we can begin by having a guided meditation now. So sit quietly. See if we're thinking. Maybe we're already becoming silent just by being together in this program. So now we can put attention on the Kundalini herself, the mothering energy, and let's raise up Kundalini. So part of the fun is putting in a little effort, little arm and hand movements to get to the state of effortlessness. So now we give the protection of the bandhan for our 7 chakras. So instead of being pulled outward, we allow our attention to relax, to go inward. And since we're focusing on the 2nd chakra, we can rest our hand first on our navel and then just go down about an inch or so. And just see with your attention, you find a place that's where my Swadhisthana chakra is, my 2nd center. We can ask the Kundalini energy herself to please balance our Swadhisthana chakra. Mother Kundalini, please completely soothe and relax and nourish my Swadhisthana chakra. We can rest our hands on our lap. And now we can put our feet in our foot soaking bowl. We use the elements of earth and water, the salt and the water together. And see what we feel in our hands. I feel these two a lot. Teacher, graphic designer, always doing something with the brain, with the creativity, trying to solve a problem. So this is the Swadhisthana on our hand, and I often feel that pressure. So Swadhisthana has three aspects. We have our left Swadhisthana, what we think we know, our right Swadhisthana, what we do, and then the center, where we try to evolve how we use all this creative energy. So with attention on the left Swadhisthana, we can put our right hand towards the floor or resting on the floor towards the earth. Left hand is just resting on our lap, palm up. With the Kundalini, if there's any beliefs or myths or things that I'm hanging on to, which are actually preventing me from perceiving and enjoying reality, may all this stuff be washed out. May it be cleansed. That I focus on the pure knowledge of what I feel in my hands, what I feel in my heart. There's still thoughts. We can enter that state of watching the thoughts. Sitting on the airplane, the person next to us is watching a different movie than us. We can't hear it because they've got their headphones on, and we're vaguely aware, okay, watching a cowboy movie, but we don't need to be completely grabbed by it. We just notice it, and then we can just be aware. Oh, what were they watching? Oh, a movie. But our attention is at some distance from that. So see if we have that same distance from our own thoughts. It's like, yes, there may be a few still. I'm aware of them, but I'm also separate from them. So now we can try to relax the right Swadhisthana aspect. That's where we're doing stuff. So we can help to cool down the whole right side by getting an ice pack, or we can just raise our left hand like this with the palm facing over the left shoulder. Right hand is now resting on our lap, palm up. And if we give permission to the pure creative energy that does a lot of amazing things like create the universe and spring forth all the new blossoms in the spring and flow the ink out of our paintbrush and create beautiful things that we're not even conscious that we're able to do. So let us allow that creative energy to flow. And we say to our own limited energy, I am not the doer. We let go. And as our attention gets quieter, sometimes our thoughts get louder and louder. They're not just tiptoeing across the room, they are banging a basketball and shouting. So we just kind of watch the entertainment of these thoughts and just see if they quiet down. We can rest both hands on our lap. Allow all the heat and worry and over-agitation of the Swadhisthana chakra to be soaked up into the foot soak bowl. So now we can get ready for the next part of the program by taking our feet out of the water, rinsing them off, and just set aside our foot soaking bowl for later. We can pour it out later on. So we can continue to sit quietly together. If there's still one last recurring thought, we say, not this, not this. And whatever is comfortable, whatever feels right for your meditation, looking at the photograph of Shri Mataji or closing your eyes for a minute or two. The attention is settled here at the top of the head. It's doing that all by itself with the guidance of our Kundalini. Otherwise, we can just put a hand here. Just see, is my attention here? And put our hand down, and in that state of relaxation, but fully aware, let's enjoy the video of Shri Mataji.
When you come for a program, there are many others who are already feeling vibrations. And you don't feel it. It's like, you see, they have a property and you don't have, sort of a thing. So, your mind which has worked through competition, mind which has worked through realizing that somebody has something I don't have, haves and have-nots. That mind starts putting fear into your head. Oh God, will you have it or not? Will I get it? Or even if I get it, will I lose it? And that fear I see on the faces of many new people. Give up that fear. You are all going to get your realization. Give up that fear. You have not entered into any competition here. Just to relax. Just relax. Then the more you want to do about Sahaja Yoga, again you are tense. I have to meditate early in the morning, I have to get up tomorrow early in the morning. You see, you go on pestering yourself, whole night you won't sleep. And when you are meditating, you are dozing. Relax. God is looking after you, believe. He is going to give you realization and He is going to look after you and He is going to wake you up in the morning too. But relax. The first idea that I can do it is wrong. He has to. It's not working out because you think you can do it. If you can come to this conclusion that I cannot do it, it is His mercy, His graciousness has to work. But after realization, you have to do something in the sense, you have to desire. But when I say you have to desire it, again you will say, all right, now I am going to sit down here and nail myself to this place and I am going to sit down and desire it. This desire is a dead desire. You see, just pushed onto your head that, oh, I must desire, Mother has told I must desire. You have to be hungry. You don't say that I have to desire that I have to be hungry. The hunger is from within, which is there, no doubt, but is clouded. The hunger is clouded because you have fear. If you put a goat before a tiger and give him to eat, he will reduce with that eating whatever it is. Because it has that fear that there is a tiger which is going to eat you. So first kill all the imaginary tigers around. Again we come back to the same. That desire must come from within. And it is there. What is clouded? Relax. It should not be that I am very relaxed. It's childlike. It's simple. A relaxed person is just like a child. So not to get frantic, try to relax. That's all. For everyone. But relaxation never means that you are inactive. On the contrary, the person who is relaxed is extremely active on the exterior, but inside is absolutely silent. Absolutely relaxed and at ease. Outside you may feel, as you know now, at this time, tremendous vibrations are flowing. And I can see the flow, tremendous. And all the chakras are doing like this around me. But I see them and they are playing. At the most I may stop talking. But it is flowing. So whether it is for the seeking or for anything else in the world, the first thing is that you must take an attitude of a relaxed witness. If you can do that, then those who are not feeling vibrations will definitely feel. I've seen people on whom I've been working, it wouldn't work out. Of course, they were not rude or even arrogant, but felt very sad that they couldn't get the vibration. So I said, all right, today you go and enjoy the flowers in the garden, enjoy the birds, and talk to the sky and come back to it. It works out. Because you have been always like this. In Sahaja Yoga, you don't have to achieve anything. You become. First you become, and then mentally you understand Sahaja Yoga. But those who try to understand Sahaja Yoga mentally first are really in for trouble. If you understand this simple principle that when we become the spirit, we manifest a power which is just the opposite of any other so-called powers. Like you take science, it will analyze. Sahaja Yoga will synthesize. Take philosophy, so called, it will try to find out the dogmas. Sahaja Yoga will neutralize all barriers of all the religions. Because all these forces are deadening, they deaden. The religion is deadened, God is deadened, everything is deadened by that. While Sahaja Yoga is a living force within you. And that's how it neutralizes all that is destructive, all that is deadly. It's a living force of God. It's a very powerful force. It's very wise. It understands everything. We have heard about it, but we never believed there could be such a force. And the first time we feel that force, we don't want to believe it. How can that be? Because we still don't believe that we can be the source of that force, which is integrating, which is synthesizing completely, which nourishes, which helps you to rise above falsehood to reality.
So let's see if we can stay in this state of meditation for around a minute. We can just keep our attention at the top of the head, just a few inches above the head. If we have any thoughts, just watch them as they come and go. Don't get involved in the thoughts.
Thank you, Neil. That was so beautiful, beautiful rendition, and it was so elevating. Certainly transported us to that space above our head, and very hard to come out of that. So let's just all stay in that stage of meditation, just watching our attention on the top of our head, and continue experiencing that state of thoughtlessness. If we are still experiencing some disturbance, some involvement of thoughts, thoughts typically, as mentioned by Mark, they come from either the desires of the left or the anxieties, the worries, the ambitions of the right. So we'll be using some affirmations here to help balance those two sides from a Swadhisthana standpoint and try and get to that state of thoughtlessness. So for the left aspect of Swadhisthana, let's first place our right hand on the lower left abdomen, slightly above our hip area on the left side. Let's calm those desires and allow our attention to follow the placement of our hand on the left side. And just watching our attention on the left Swadhisthana will assert Mother Kundalini, by your grace, I am the divine technique, I am the divine knowledge that acts. We'll assert this with as much conviction as possible, believing in our state as a spirit. Mother Kundalini, I desire nothing but the ascent, my self-realization, establishment of my realization. I desire nothing but the knowledge of the self, the knowledge of the spirit. Now that we have calmed down our desires, disturbing our attention, let's place our right hand back in our lap and bring the left hand on the right side of our lower abdomen or the right hip. And here we recognize that Mother Kundalini, she is the one who is the doer, and she is the one who is the enjoyer, as she is the reflection of the divine within us. So we don't necessarily control anything. So we just surrender our attention completely by praying, Mother Kundalini, you verily are the doer. You verily are the enjoyer. Please take away all my anxieties, all my worries, and allow my attention to fully surrender. Mother, you verily are the doer. I surrender myself completely unto you. Now bring our left hand back in our lap. Now that we have balanced our left and the right aspects of Swadhisthana, we have in a sense removed the distractions from left and right. So now we'll bring our right hand on our center Swadhisthana, the lower hip, and the place where we typically have the belt buckle. And here, knowing that our attention is now free of all desires and ambitions, worries and anxieties, we'll pray to Mother Kundalini to give us complete purity of attention and make us creative. Mother Kundalini, please clear out my attention. Please make me thoughtless. Please make me creative. Let my creations express the divine will. Let my creations express auspiciousness and purity. Now we'll take our right hand with our palm facing upwards. We'll take it along our central channel, up our spine, and take it all the way to the top of our Sahasrara, or top of our head. And we'll do this a few times, desiring complete thoughtlessness. Mother Kundalini, please take me beyond my fears, my anxieties, my worries. Take me beyond all my mundane desires and make me completely thoughtless. We'll place the center of our right palm on the very top of our head, gently pressing it. And giving our scalp with slight pressure a clockwise rotation. And as we do that, we just desire from the core of our heart, with all the love in our heart, Mother, please come into my Sahasrara. Please come into my brain. Please establish in my brain. Please establish my self-realization. Please establish my self-realization. Do this a few times and then we gradually raise our right hand above our head and allow our pure attention to completely fill the space between our head and the hand. And just watch that space. And if any thoughts still come, just say, not mine, or not this, not this. Just witness. Place our right hand back in our lap and just stay in this state of meditation. Now, watching our attention above our head, we will raise our kundalinis and put ourselves back in bandhan. We'll take our left hand up with the right hand clockwise around it, and following the center of our left palm with our head pushed backwards, we'll tie the first knot. The same again, and this time we'll tie 2 knots. The third time, in watching the center of our left palm to maintain the attention on Sahasrara, we'll tie the 3 dots for each of the channels. And then we'll put ourselves in a bandhan. And 7 times we take bandhan, 1 for each energy center, and put ourselves in the protection shield. We'll continue maintaining this state. Back to you, Mark.
Very silent. So this is an ongoing 21-day course. We completed the first 21 days, one day after the other, and this is our second session where we meet Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday through April 15th. And we also meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Same time, same Zoom link, and that is a simpler program of a meditation and a foot soak. And if you miss any sessions, no worries, they're all recorded. Today we talked about Swadhisthana Chakra, and we have a handout that gives a summary of some of the qualities and also includes affirmations in English that you can use to help clear the left, the right, or the center. And you heard some of those affirmations during today's program. So on Thursday, we're going to find out how enlightened attention is powerful. And the way to very practically improve our attention is to cool down our liver. So you're invited to bring something to cool down your liver, something with ice in it. We have many resources available for the program. You can get one-on-one support and a kind of coaching through a mentor. You can join our WhatsApp group if you haven't already, and that gives a daily message about the program, about our ascent and growth in Sahaja Yoga, and reminders about the program. And we also have a course website where you'll find the recordings of all previous programs and all the handouts. So many ways to get support in Sahaja Yoga. So now we come to the part of the program where it's a special kind of support for us in the program and for you watching. And that's where I invite Prashant and Neil to please come back on. So what a pure joy to spend this time with you guys. And now we want to hear from you, the people who are in the chat or who are watching in Zoom. Do you have any questions? Anything that you'd like clarified? Anything you'd like to share? So there's different ways that you can get your question to us. You can ask for a Sahaja Yoga teacher to meet with you one-on-one in a breakout room. Just send your request in the chat to breakout room help. Or you just might want to have a chat with our chat Q&A person who is also a Sahaja Yoga teacher, and you might just have a question and just do a chat right inside the Zoom chat. Or you can send a chat message to me, your MC, and then we will attempt to answer your question or share what we've learned or what we're learning in Sahaja Yoga. So the interesting thing about Sahaja Yoga is that it seems simple, but it's also complex. So for instance, we learned that the beginning of our right channel, the channel of doing, is the Svadhisthana chakra itself. And yet, we also want what we do to be informed by our pure desire, by our highest and noblest goals. So, Prashant, how does that work for you? How does the pure desire inform what you say or do with your right side?
Yes, so like everything, in Sahaja Yoga is about balance. So anytime we do one more than the other, we tend to tip the scale, one way or the other. And same goes for Swadhisthana. So a pure desire essentially kind of is I would say, the fuel within you, which draws out in a way the path for your action. So if your desire is not really engulfed by the normal mundane things, and it is more craving as to what your true needs are of your spirit, then automatically it is charting out a path which leads to doing things or creating things which are essentially carrying those specific actions out, which will please the spirit. And spirit in this case is the reflection of, you can say, Mother Kundalini within us, which is essentially what is designed to help us unite with the spirit. So from that vantage point, if you see, um, essentially your desire to please this Mother Kundalini within you automatically charts out the course of action where you do specific things which will keep her pleased, and that keeps you in complete concord with the inner discipline. If that makes sense.
Okay. The balancing. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Neil, we know that from the phenomenally beautiful melodious music you play, that you definitely are putting in effort and you're practicing. And maybe some days you just as soon not, but there's a certain kind of a dedication to get to the level that you've now achieved. So that's using your, action and doing. How is that informed by your pure desire? You might have to hold your mic close to
Yeah,
your mouth.
sorry. Yeah, for me, it's interesting because a pure desire it's something which is not necessarily, there might not even be a goal to it. It's just something that you feel like you want to do for no particular reason. So for me, around 15 years ago, I started learning the Bansuri flute, and it was just something which I just suddenly, I think my Swadhisthana chakra just opened up, something got cleared, and I just had this desire to play an instrument. And I played the flute, the metal flute before when I was a teenager. So then it was easier for me to make a decision to play the bamboo flute. And yeah, I mean, it's a pure desire is something which is, I would say, is benevolent for your spirit, as Prashant was saying. It might be not even benevolent for you, but it might be benevolent for others as well. Just something out of love and compassion. So yeah, for me, the bamboo flute has been something which has required a lot of dedication, requires a lot of practice, and I'm not doing it because I want, to make lots of money or want to be famous or something like that. It's just something which I know is going to be beneficial for me and for my growth as a Sahaja Yogi and for my spirit to grow. So hope that inspires people.
I definitely could feel the beneficial effect.
Thanks.
So soothing, so inspiring.
Yeah.
So there's things sometimes that we believe or we pick up in our lives, and maybe they're really useful. They're good things to always abide by. Don't accept rides from strangers, things like that. But sometimes we get ideas in our heads, belief systems, conceptual frameworks. I used to read a lot. And have you noticed any change in you from working on clearing your left Swadhisthana, Prashant?
Yeah, absolutely. So left Swadhisthana, as we all recognize now, it is something which deals with, or I would say the core characteristic is pure desire. So I would say the big difference that I saw in my early years as I started to work more on myself through the various practices of Sahaja Yoga was, you can say, I would say it is rather organic that you start feeling that the same things that, or the same, I would say, mundane involvements that would typically engulf you or pull you towards, and they don't really interest you anymore. You know, you automatically start losing that connection with them. It doesn't really create the same level of excitement. And one of the things I would say is that uh, prior to Sahaj, or I would say in the early parts, when you're still kind of in that gray area, you feel that what inspires you kind of evolves over a period of time. So generally, prior to realization, your reactions are on the outside, and as a result of that, you you get inspired by senses, the five senses that we talk about, right? And you kind of move and evolve, and it's not the senses anymore. It is something more than what just meets the eye. So it's the inner joy, which is what you kind of react to more, what really gives you the joy of the spirit, what really kind of makes your kundalini respond. And that's what you start desiring more. If that is not clicking, it doesn't really fall in the realm of what you're trying to seek. So I would say that for me was the biggest switch as the left Swadhisthana started to clear out.
Yeah, I noticed my theories, my ideas, my worldview. When I began Sahaja Yoga, I was bound to determine that I am not changing, that the things that I hold dear, that I think are right, that's going to be it because it's the right way to think. And then I realized that given a good dose of just pure love, compassion, patience, welcome, that my obsession with individualism and doing it all on my own, and it's just a big fight, and life is just a big fight, that suddenly I realized, well, gee, and it took a long time, but eventually I realized that it's just so much more fun when you're with other people and you're enjoying being with them, which means no one's dominating any other person. That you push them in the pool, and next time they push you in the pool. And it's a whole different state of inner contentment and satisfaction. And so then that, of course, affected then the way I thought about, well, how should society be organized? Shouldn't we try to have ways of relating to each other that increase that chance to feel the enjoyment of other people? and appreciate the depth that's in all of us, just the potential. So, and that becomes a different challenge
Yeah.
of organizing societies based on compassion and seeing the potential in everybody, as well as, we still have our own lives to live. So Neil, you speak so eloquently about how you've just used this instrument and you've grown with this instrument. And do you consciously actually work on clearing your right Swadhisthana also? And how does that influence your playing?
Yeah, I think for me, I noticed that the instrument itself automatically clears my right Swadhisthana. So it's kind of like unconsciously working out.
Bring your mic up a bit.
Yeah, sorry. So it's unconsciously working out for me. But also left Swadhisthana for me is something which I think I've noticed, like when I work on it, then that's changed me a lot. It's like if it's not clear, then I just feel kind of like bogged down and like I'm like uninspired, And then as soon as I clear it or I do a foot soak and I meditate and I focus on it, then I'm a lot more freer of that negativity that's kind of pulling me back. And then the right swice tongue is able to kick in, and whatever we put into action is just flows and it just works out very easily.
Have you noticed, Neil, how you've consciously let go, in addition to the music, of course, which is inspiration, but in other aspects of your life where you realize that I can just let go and let the divine attention do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's things where, I mean, if I just look back on many things in my life, I think I've gradually, I would say like in the early days when I just started meditating, I had lots of ideas, lots of aspirations, I want to be like this, or, I want to be this kind of person. And, it kind of gets tiring because you never really, it's like a moving kind of goal and you never really achieve anything. And then I think gradually as I grew in Sahaja Yoga, I let go of those ideas and I just like, just chilled, and things, like things just work out. But it's like the agenda for your life is not decided by you. You realize that it's just something which is kind of taken care of. It's not like, you set a goal and then you work hard and you achieve it. You just have to let go. You just have to surrender to your Kundalini and surrender to this. Just at least just discipline yourself to meditate, and everything just gets taken care of.
Something that you've consciously said, that's not for me to do, that's for the divine to do. Prashant?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I completely agree with what Neil just said, and essentially it's the divine will. I mean, once we kind of pull our attention, or I would say ourselves out of it, it's a divine will that kind of takes over. And thoughts are, I would say, the biggest, you can say, impediment between us and the divine will. And we sort of kind of bring ourselves into the mix for some reason. And moment we figure out a way to kind of pull ourselves out, the divine will takes over and everything looks so much more easy and flowing. Yeah, there is no, I would say, easy way to describe that, but to experience it, when that actually happens.
It was a situation in which you felt kind of stymied and then you realized, wow, here comes a pure inspired solution. Prashant?
I would say there is just too many of those, but just to kind of, I would say, cite, based on recency, we were in a session a couple of days back. It is obviously work related, and it was a rather, I would say, complex technical situation, and I wasn't, I would say, very close to that particular topic, and it was mainly my team involved, and we were sort of in a flux, and a lot of, I would say, very heavy technical people, a lot more, I can say, experienced than me who were involved. And we were all sort of looking at it. We had already spent like a couple hours on it. We decided to kind of follow through the following morning. And it so happened that I was getting into this call right after my morning meditation. So it was at about 9 o'clock in the morning. I had just finished doing the foot soaking and I was just going straight into it, and with no real idea as to how it was going to transpire. And it just so happened as we were going through the motions, something just happened to sort of, just come in my thought, and I felt empowered to kind of, just express it out there. And they were like, yeah, it seems like that might work, and I have no idea, and this is just, I would say, one of the several instances of similar nature where something of that nature just happens to just come out and just gives you a path forward, So, and that to me is the direct product of Swadhisthana, because there is definitely no human knowledge involved there. It's just popping out in front of you, So I would say that would be a good example. Yeah.
And when has that happened to you, Neil, where you realized that I cannot solve this? And then you noticed, oh, the divine is doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say even like earlier in my life, even I think before Sahaja Yoga, like I was going through like a very difficult time because I had expectations about life and I had desires which I, wanted fulfilled. And then, like when I look back at like the timeline, as soon as I started meditating, it's like everything just started gradually going like up. And it's not up in terms of like, fulfilling whatever goals I had, whatever aspirations, but just everything just started becoming a lot more positive. And my whole outlook is like something just was in me and it just like beamed out and, not just in one direction, but in all directions. And like everything just started to just become a lot more positive and like my thoughts became positive, like outcomes in life became positive, like a job just lands in my lap. I end up moving to a country which I really wanted to, really had the desire in my heart to live in. And, like so many different things have happened like that. And yeah, I mean, it's just, nothing but being connected to this divine power. I mean, that's what I attribute all of this to.
Very deep and quiet evening with you two, I must say. And so enjoyable to meditate with you guys tonight and with all of you that are watching in the program on YouTube or on Zoom. So big, big, huge virtual hug to both of you. And
Likewise, Mark.
Same to you.
Likewise, Neil.
so
Yeah.
enjoyable. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us. Yeah. Take care. Good evening, everyone.
So everybody, we'll see you on the Thursday program. And thanks for joining us.